I am on a journey of respectfully arguing that family is very, very important. A family unit is very, very important anywhere in society, anywhere in the world. And I'm on part 3 of my debate or argument in this regard, just to drop in some thoughts which you can take to another level with groupings and other forums within the spaces where you find yourself. So this part 3, I want to focus on a level of family development which is very crucial, and it's necessarily no man's land, if I may put it that way. A child comes from a home that has a triangle, a father, a mother, and then it's a child. And I argued in the past that in cases where the mother is not around or the father is not around, society, community, neighborhood must really become neighborly by taking up that position and help a child to become a complete formed vessel, so that when we release a person into some areas, that person comes with values that are very dynamic and are founded on a family background. So a child reaches a stage at some parts of life, where a child is released into a school and a university. These two places are no man's land. When you release a child to a school or to a university, in most cases, in education theory, we talk about loco parentis, where you find that you trust that a teacher will become a parent to a child whose parents are not at school and in class. And I think it's a good thing. However, the void with this approach is that unless if you know where the teacher comes from, the background of the teacher, because we have teachers today who also have suffered the kind of things I've argued on part 1 and 2, where you find that that teacher is just a professional, but they've never had a family structure. They've never had a family background that is good, and they've just hustled throughout their lives until they are now a professional educator by qualification from university. So my argument is that if as family we play our role to make sure that our child is groomed very well in terms of values from a home situation, by the time we release them to a school, they can become a teacher to their teacher. In Africa, in one of the countries in Africa, there is a language called Setswana. What happens is that they say, in other words, direct translation is that an impala, the small impala could teach the mother impala some wisdom. I'm just giving you a direct translation so that I don't waste time in that regard. So in other words, the child who's well developed and taught from a family structure could become a light and a salt to their own teacher, as long as they are coming from a family that has worked very hard and thorough, grounding the child on good values of family, which include respect, which include ability to express themselves without fear, which include ability to disagree with someone without disrespect and all these kind of things, which include the ability and the willingness to share without being reckless, and all several other values that you may be knowing, which must be inculcated in children's life. So at the school level, if a child does not have values from a family, they will take everything they find at school. So they will think that engaging in drugs is part of a lifestyle which they were missing at home because they've never been taught about it. They will believe that engaging in premature sexual activities is the right thing because they've never had a discussion like that at home. They will engage on a number of other things, smoking, certain things. They will believe it's the right thing to do because you will never open up whilst they were at home. So at home, a child must have this kind of freedom where things are spoken as they are for the sake of what they may face in lands such as school and university, where it's a no man's land. It's a vulture eat vulture, lion devours lion there. But when a person is well prepared and well informed, when they arrive there, they are able to defend their stances, they are able to conquer challenges that come their way. But with emptiness, your child will come back home having transformed in a way that you may not recognize them. And when that happens, I want to say, I don't think it's the right thing to blame a child, because you must look at the content you gave them before they went to school and went to university. So with this contribution, I want to say, I don't think there's a necessity for anyone to be afraid of anything in this life. As long as we are playing our part at any given stage, you will empower a person to be independent wherever they find themselves. If you don't teach a person something that you know, you are withdrawing power from them to be a grown-up, to be mature, and to stand for themselves. They will remain a child for as long as they live, and you will be the one to be blamed, because you will have deprived them good lessons for them to become mature. So I want to say, be aware that in a journey of seeing the effects of family, a school level and a university level will come your way either through yourself or through your child. How do you prepare for that? Make sure that within the family unit, you have discussions and empowerment sessions that prepares your child to be able to conquer a university and a school dynamic. Teach your child to be able to say no, and then indicate what no means, to be able to say yes and indicate what yes means. And also use your personal examples of where you have failed to say yes and where you have failed to say no, so that the child can learn from home. Modeling must happen in the home situation. I believe if you can do this, we will celebrate the beauty of being a family that contribute dynamism and dynamic vessels to society. And our societies will be great, irrespective of the level where things must be done, because we will know that we have taught people well to become members of society in a great way. Thank you so much for listening to me.